millions of people recording. Recording equipment was kind of a specialty. Only the studios had that. Home recording was an almost impossibility, right? So live music was pretty much how a musician made a living back then. Then you get into the 70s and 80s, and people could record at home, which is fine, but they have no way to get they wanted to play on the radio. They literally had to drive to the radio station and deliver that reel. You know what I mean? Like, which is kind of cool when you think about it, but it just wasn't frequent. You know what I mean? It just wasn't something people could easily do. Then you get into the 80s and 90s, and people can record on tape cassettes, but the audio was absolutely horrible. My first recording, portable recording studio was a Porta Studio 4, made by, what the hell's Tascam, and it was a 4-track recording studio, and I have I don't even know if I have any tapes cassette where they would be or whatever within your recordings on how you'd ever get to hear them. You know what I mean? I was able to hook it to my Ghetto Blaster and mix down on my Ghetto Blaster. That was the only way to mix down and get the song out, but you really couldn't do much with that 4-track. There was no double track guitars, no double track anything. It was just basically an ideas machine, right? And like again, the sound quality was horrible and everything like that because it was just a cheap tape cassette, right? I mean, it was enough to get ideas down, so that part was fun. But until I got my the BR1200, the Boss BR1200 that I have now, which is still a pretty cool machine. Even like it's dated in its sounds and stuff like that, but you can use it, and it's got all the effects and everything a studio would have. It's just it's not as good a quality, right? But the thing is that you do have the abilities to put out really good songs. So I put more emphasis on how good the song is going to be rather than how great a quality it's going to be at this point, until I can afford to go to a studio, right? Because I'm still building out my equipment and all that for the next probably 2 to 3 years. It's probably going to take me to get everything I want, and then after that, look out, right? Like the big stuff is pretty much like the drum kit. When it's paid off in February, I'm still going to add to it, but like I'm not going to be in debt to it. You know what I mean? So that'll free up a lot of money. $236 a month that it's going to free up, right? Which is pretty darn good to put towards other things. Not just musical equipment, but musical equipment and, you know what I mean? And with that, one of the other advantages I get is that I could do most of it myself, but the other thing is it frees up money to get my, like, if I could do YouTube collaborations, okay, with other musicians. Like there's one guy, we're not in the same genre of music, but I'm thinking he's somebody that I could probably do something with, and he seems to be better set up. But I'm not set up for the live streaming and stuff like that, and whatever have you. And like I need to find somebody that's doing it. And okay, how are you setting it up? Because it's like everything. All you need is an audio interface, and then you're good, and Cubase, and then you're good. Or Reaper or whatever, and then you're good. And it's like no. It's not that simple. It's sort of that simple, but it's sort of not, like, because they don't tell you all the other things that they have, like, so there is no like $200 recording studio that's can produce stuff that can go on the internet seamlessly, and stuff like that. You still have to have the laptop, which I have, but you have to have one that can run the programs, right? And I don't know if mine could. If not, you're going to get glitches in your music. So this is where I do like the BR1200, because it's purpose built for that, right? It's just it's a little bit dated. But that said, when you put the BR1200 kind of an analog and just use the 10 tracks and the 192 virtual tracks in analog mode, it's as good as whatever it is you're recording, or as good as the mics you're using, or as good as So in that sense, my goal would be to get musicians. If I can't get gigs, I'd like to do live off the floor, even if it's like a short session, like half-hour session, that kind of thing, live off the floor with really good audio, and then sync that audio to the video, which I don't have the ability to do that. And that's what people don't show you when they're like, all you need is this, and they show you like, okay, yeah, here's the finished video, here's me playing, you see all different camera angles of the video. Okay, yeah, now they have to sync that playing with the audio, which is another program, which most of the time is going to be more expensive. So you're not going to be able to produce like professional quality videos for cheap. So you have to be careful what you buy, because you also don't want to break the bank either, right? And yeah, so like it is what it is. But the other thing is that I want to make sure that I can produce good videos. And the nice thing about doing story videos is you don't have to sync the sound to the video. So there's that. Plus you get to see a cool story. So anyway, we'll talk about it more.